fucking difference between winning and losing.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
And welcome, everybody, to the second episode of the LongBalls. I am the host, the big JBONE, and with me is my assistant, the ratings wizard. What's up, dude?
I'm definitely not the assistant.
You're the Al Borland.
No, I mean, is it the killer beard? Killer wisdom in the beard? No, yeah. Co-host. If nothing, it leans more towards I'm King Longball.
King Longball, yeah. That is your team name in the fantasy team, and we'll of course be talking a lot about that. Our fantasy teams going forward. Today's draft day for us, so hopefully your draft days are going good. Make sure you check back. Last week we did a fantasy preview. You can check back on that right here on the Turnbuckle Tavern YouTube feed here. But yeah, check it out. We broke down who are our top QBs, top running backs, top wide receivers, all that good stuff. This week we're going to be previewing the NFL season. We're going to be giving our division winners, breaking down each division, and talking about who we think is going to going to be going to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 57 will be in Arizona this year. Have you ever been to Arizona?
I have. I've been to their stadium.
Yeah, it's badass. It's really badass.
It was hot. I was there in September. And man, not fun.
October's fun.
Oh, I'm sure. But September in the desert, not a good time.
Yeah, no, that's not. It's hot. It's hot for sure. We've got pretty much the end. We finished up everything on preseason, and the Colts finished up. Saints finished up. We got the Who-Dats, baby. We're going to be talking about them a little bit. We're going to be talking about the Colts and any of your famous teams. But I think it's time to get into it. Let's get into the Crystal Ball segment. All right, Crystal Ball. So this is we'll be using this throughout the season, to kind of give our predictions for each week. Next week here on the show, we'll have a full show lined up with where we pretty much full show. We'll go through the week 1 games and go through fantasy and things like that as well. So I think it's time we talk about it. Let's go through our division winners, and we'll take I'll pull them up here. Hoch, let's go start off with yours here. I'm gonna pull up here your AFC division winners. We got in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills, the AFC South, the Colts, AFC North, the Bengals, and AFC West, the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs. What in your opinion, what does we'll start with AFC West. AFC East. What what makes you think the Bills are going to win it all? I'll take it right there.
Josh Allen and the rest of the division shit. I think New England's on their way down. I don't think Mac Jones is Tom Brady by any means, and clearly they felt not having him last season. And then Miami, Tua, not sold on him. And I actually think it's going to hurt Tyreek Hill's stats going to Miami. Tyreek Hill's good, but if you don't have a QB who can make the throws, doesn't matter. In the New York, they're always a dumpster fire. So that's a pretty accurate assessment by me, and I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to end up there. What about you, J-Bone?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I agree with you. I'll go ahead and pull up real quick my AFC division winners. I got Bills, Colts, Bengals, Chargers. But you're right. I mean, the Bills are definitely a perennial favorite. They're already like power rankings number 1. I mean, defense, offense, special teams. I mean, they got it all. well, they lost a little piece of their special teams this week, but that's okay.
They did. It's true. So if anyone didn't hear, the Bills had a punter who could punt 80 yards. There's only, I think he was like the second or third person to ever do it. So they ditched their trusted kicker they've had, I think, a couple years now, whatever. He was getting the job done. And then they cut him for the rookie punter, and then the rookie punter just got mentioned in a gangbang lawsuit, which seems to be a running trend with NFL players. And then the good thing is the Colts punter blew out his Achilles in practice. So we ended up getting the Bills kicker that they cut.
Nice.
So everyone wins except for the person who was gang raped. And then if she gets a hefty payout, then I guess she could be a winner too. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
You play to win the game.
Jesus. Anyways, moving on.
Follow that up.
We're starting off hot here on the long balls, but So again, so you got Bills going. What record you got? Bills going on
13-4, I think, wins that division.
13-4.
I think they could probably win the division at like 9-8, but it's so crappy that they're gonna pretty much just roll through the division.
Do you think they'll clean sweep the division?
No,
6-0.
No, it's tough to do that. Even when we had Manning in Indy, we'd still lose to Jacksonville once a year, it felt like. So it's just really tough to sweep your division. New England always gives them the shit, so they'll probably split with New England, and they'll probably end up like split with Miami, some bullshit loss. Every team gets them.
Yeah, I think they'll smoke New York because
they're going to sweep New York for sure.
Jets suck. All right, so let's talk about let's pull this up again. Your AFC division winners. Let's talk about your Indianapolis Colts. You got them going winning the AFC South. Of course, we got Indianapolis Colts. You got Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Houston Texans. What do you? Obviously, you're gonna be a little bit biased towards the Colts, but what makes you think the Colts are going to be winning the division?
We were only a quarterback away, and we got Matt Ryan. That's all you need to know. We got all the fucking tools it needs. We got the fucking QB. We got the best running back maybe in the history of the NFL. We got
history.
What? Yeah, hey man, give it time. Then we got our wide receiver 1, Pittman. Every year he's making strides. We added number 2 second round pick, Alex Pierce, slot receiver. And our defense is fucking baller. We got Darius Leonard. He wants to go by Shaq this year. We'll see if I can make it. I usually just call him the Dick Tackler because he's out there with his big old dick tackling these motherfuckers. Darius Dick Tackler Leonard, that's his name. And then our kicking game is suspect. We have this third-year kicker out of Georgia, I think Blankenship, and he can't really hit field goals longer than 50 yards, which is an issue in the NFL. Other than that, we're pretty much stacked, and I wouldn't be shocked. I have us going 13-4. I wouldn't be shocked if we go undefeated and win the whole thing. Become the greatest team in NFL history. But you never know what could happen.
You're sick.
You always fucking drop a game you shouldn't drop. So other than that, complete domination by the Colts this year.
I'm not gonna say complete domination. You got the Titans in there. They're still a decent team. Yeah, they don't have AJ Brown. I've got the Colts going 11-6. They're gonna be the number 4 seed in the playoffs.
So fucking stupid.
Here we go.
You're already goddamn stupid.
No, absolutely not. You got the Titans. You got to deal with. You got a lot of. I think better teams. I'll say it in the AFC. If this team was in the AFC North, they wouldn't make the playoffs.
In the North, maybe. I'd accept that for the North with fucking Pittsburgh and Cleveland without Deshaun Watson and an overrated Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but you got Myles Garrett. You got Myles Garrett, and you've got an aging Matt Ryan. I know Matt Ryan. I've seen Matt Ryan play. He's not that damn good. He'll get them the ball. Yes, he'll get Pittman the ball. You'll have Jonathan Taylor spread out the offense, but spread out the defense. Excuse me, but yeah, he's not that good. Matt Ryan is not that good. He's an aging quarterback.
So fucking stupid right now to the listeners. They're probably going to turn us off, and this is the last episode they're ever going to listen to.
No,
we're going to need a third person in here to mediate and tell you that I'm right.
Well, we'll get into that at another point. We'll definitely have some a third person at some point.
Wouldn't make the playoffs in the North. Fucking shut up.
God damn. I'll say that right now. They're definitely a 4 seed. They're lucky to be in the South because that's not the best division. That's the worst division in my opinion in the AFC. So
I won't dispute that. Jacksonville and Houston are supposed to be pretty terrible. Given that fact, though, the Colts play at Houston week 1. We're on an 8 consecutive game losing streak for season openers. So let's see if we can't bust that streak this year.
Let's see if we go 0-9, baby. Yes.
I've been hearing good things about this, the Davis Mills out of Houston. What's hilarious, though, is when a player pops in preseason, everyone's like, oh, my God, they're going to be great. And then the regular season starts, and they don't do anything because people forget that it's fucking mostly people that aren't even going to make the fucking team playing in the preseason. So we'll see. But
yeah, we'll see. So let's head over to the North again. This is your picks right here. You got the Bengals winning that division, and then I also have the Bengals in the North. I mean, obviously, defending AFC champions, made it to the Super Bowl. Couldn't get the job done in the Super Bowl. What do you see for the Bengals this year?
I think they're going to go 12-5, win that division. They're probably better than 12-5, but they do got Baltimore. Pittsburgh, even though I don't know if the rookie's starting or not. I think he's second string right now. I think who ended up getting that job? Not fucking Rudolph, but there was another. Mitch Trubisky, I think, has the fucking Steelers starting job, which, Jesus. Man, in the offseason, there was rumors the Colts were going to go after Trubisky, and I wanted to kill myself when I heard that because he sucks, and he's going to suck for Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's, they always find a way to be good. I don't get it because they shouldn't be good at all this year. So we'll see. Maybe Tomlin's just that good of a coach. But even before Tomlin was Cowher, it's like they always seem – Pittsburgh never seems to have to go through a rebuild. Seems like they always are just good. But I still have them finishing third in the division behind Baltimore because Lamar Jackson, even though I think he's overrated. And then Cleveland, I would have them win in the division if they had Deshaun Watson. But they don't. They have fucking Jacoby Brissett, who – was Colts starting quarterback 3 seasons ago. Not good. Very
not good.
Very mediocre. And this is like his third team in as many years. When a player jumps around that much, they're jumping around for a reason, especially at the quarterback position. So they're just not going to be good. And I'd steer clear of all Browns in fantasy. But I think, look, I'm not condoning Deshaun Watson's behavior at all, so no one think that. However, didn't he miss all last season? Like, are they not considering that like time served? Because in my opinion, now he's going to be facing a fucking.
But didn't he sit out though? Because he was sitting out because he didn't want to play for the Texans.
No, the Texans were sitting him out because they didn't want the stigma of playing someone who was accused of rape. And I don't think it was rape. I think it's assault. I think basically he was getting massages, and I've had massages that they feel kind of sensuous, even though they're not. They're just. It's always
nobody wants to hear about your massages, okay?
But I'm just saying that, like, I think that it's different. You got to differentiate.
Oh, okay. So you when you grab a girl's hand and you say, "Here, rub my taint," that's fine.
Well, it depends if she rubs it. If she ends up rubbing it, then yes.
Jesus.
If she says no, and then you keep going, then it's a different story.
No,
but anyway, my point is there's no criminal charges. So this dude has to sit out 2 seasons for something that he wasn't even criminally charged for. I think that's criminal. I think we should leave the players alone.
That's all because of our criminal justice system. The man with the gold makes the rules. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, no, it's because all the bitches they'd rather fucking take the payout than see Deshaun Watson face criminal activity. I'm the same way. Some dude makes me touch his wiener, and I have the choice of him going to jail or me getting hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, I'll take the hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was just one wiener. One dick I had to touch, and now look at me. I can buy a new fucking car, and all I had to do was jerk off to Deshaun Watson.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
All right.
I think he's going to be able to play the whole season. He already sat out. That's
it's whatever. I mean, that probably was a more of a, the Texans also had, he basically refused to play for him. So the Texans said, well, you just send it home. That probably had more to do with it than anything. It was more of a being petty by the Texans point, because the Texans, their management system, I don't know who their general manager is or whatever, but God, they are a dumpster fire. They were like a perennial favorite a couple of years ago. They were a good team, and then just dumped it all. Like, I don't.
Well, I think Deshaun Watson is like 1A or 1B behind Mahomes as far as like quarterback play on the field. Because Deshaun, I was watching him play twice a year for the Texans. That dude is fucking amazing. But he just never had the team, and Houston's.
He never had the offensive line. The offensive line was garbage.
Yeah,
that was his issue. So,
but I'm glad to have him out of the division. Honestly, when I heard he was going to Cleveland, it's like fucking jackpot.
Well,
every time you can get a quarterback like that out of your division, it's a win.
Yeah, but as far as the Bengals, I mean, the Bengals they've got an improved offensive line this year. Still got some holes, but pretty good nonetheless. You got Joe Burrow coming off of appendicitis, I believe. So he's kind of got to get his strength up, but I think he's going to be primed up, ready to go for the season. We talked about Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. Very good. Offense ready to go. Pretty good defense. At least they could get them to hold off. Where they could score. They're gonna have to score like 30, 40 points a game in order to win. The Bengals are so, but I've got them at I got them at 12-5, so the third seed in the playoffs. So. Let's go over to our AFC West predictions here. Hoch, we got this is the only one we're different on. You got the Kansas City Chiefs, and I've got the San Diego Chargers. What do you what makes you think the Chiefs are gonna win that? Because that division is that's the toughest in football. What makes you think the Chiefs are gonna win?
Mahomes, pretty much. And I know he lost Tyreek Hill, but Mahomes, I think, is more responsible for Tyreek being amazing than Tyreek is for Mahomes being amazing.
Okay.
And Andy Reid's always stellar. All his teams, regardless, are always in the Chiefs were like 11-5 with fucking Alex Smith, And granted, the division's probably tougher than it's ever been, and it's definitely, to me, the AFC West is the toughest division in football. Like, any team in that division, if they were in any other division, will probably be the favorites to win it. And I got the Chiefs at 11-6. I think they're actually better than that, but it's just one of those divisions where I wouldn't be shocked if every team goes like 3-3 in that division.
It could be possible.
Because I think they're just going to beat the fuck up on each other. Because if you just look at the quarterbacks, man, you got Mahomes, Derek Carr, who I fucking love him. I wanted the Colts to get him in the offseason because there was rumors that he was on the trade block. Mm-hmm. And then you got Denver, you got Russ, and Herbert in LA. And I actually got the Chargers finishing last in the division, but not because I think they're going to be bad. It's just when you look at all the other teams, I just think that Herbert has the least amount of weapons, I guess, combined with the talent on the team. But that's the thing about it is the Chargers could finish last or they could finish first, and that's about the way I feel about every team in that division. No team winning that division would shock me. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much flip a coin on them, because here's the thing. AFC West also has to play the NFC West, and that's a pretty stacked division, too. You got 49ers, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks are rebuilding, but, that's a pretty stacked division there. So, there's going to be some teams there that are going to lose. So I think whoever comes out on top is going to be they're going to deserve it, basically, So I don't know. I just think if this is the Chargers' year, you got Herbert going into his third year. I mean, he's really confident behind, throwing the ball. And he's got a lot of weapons. I mean, again, I could definitely see the Chiefs winning it with Mahomes. Now, Mahomes also has Smith-Schuster, who was pretty good for Pittsburgh whenever he, towards the end of Big Ben's career there. So he's got some speed on him. Of course, you still got Travis Kelce there.
And a year older Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
But I just remember the year the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, I remember thinking, fuck, man, the Chiefs are going to dominate the NFL. I wouldn't be shocked if they win the next 5 Super Bowls. But the last 2 seasons, when the season after that they lost the Super Bowl and then they didn't even make it last year, you're starting to see the NFL has a way of just figuring players out. I don't care how good you are, how electric you are. You have the greatest minds in the game deciphering what you do. And you can see that with the Chiefs. I'm not taking anything away from Mahomes. He's still probably the best QB in the league. But that being said, the NFL does have a way of figuring you out. So a lot of that invincibility that was following the Chargers around for a couple seasons, I just think they've lost that. Now I think it feels like they can be beaten by anybody now.
Yeah. One thing with Mahomes, he had those kind of like no-look passes, which to me is a little reckless, at times because that can lead to fumbles or interceptions, if he could just kind of dial that down a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying cut it out completely because, I mean, he's a playmaker. Just that I think a lot of leads to turnovers, and that's the name of the game. If you turn over the ball, least amount of times you turn over the ball, you're going to win games, obviously, so. Yeah,
and with the Chiefs, all those low no-look passes and everything, it's like people don't understand how having a receiver as quick as Tyreek Hill helps literally everybody on the team. Mm-hmm. Because they were, double, triple teaming, whatever, Tyreek Hill, and he was still getting his shit. So now, and then you'd have all those other receivers that would be open because of Tyreek Hill's presence. But now, these unproven receivers, they got to find ways to get open without having Tyreek Hill taking the top off the defense and everyone just streaking with him downfield. And like I said, Kelce, he's well into his 30s now. I think like 33, 32, 33. So in the NFL, man, there's not gradual declines usually. It's you were great one season and then the next year you come back and it's just gone.
Especially tight ends.
Yeah, and you just, again, I'm not saying that's Kelce this year. I'm just saying it wouldn't shock me if that's Kelce this year.
Right.
So, but anyway, they're still the Chiefs. Mahomes is still probably the best player in the NFL, so they get the edge.
So you got you have Buffalo as the number 1 seed?
I have. Let's see here. My seeds. It's Indy. Indy's 1, Buffalo 2, God. Cincy 3,
homer.
KC 4, Baltimore 5, Vegas 6, and then now we got 7 because the NFL just loves money. So let's add another regular season game, which is insane. And then let's add another wild card team, which I'm not opposed to that. I don't mind that. But
it's like trophies. It's like your little trophies.
Well, I just love how the NFL comes out like everything we do is for the safety of the players. Let's add 2 more games to the schedule so they can get their heads knocked off. But then the motherfuckers won't even change the goddamn overtime rules, which that's a rant in itself. Motherfuckers.
Oh, I agree with you.
Ties in the NFL. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I agree.
Everyone's there. You're all in the stadium. The game's been scheduled. What the fuck else do you have to do? And that's what kills me is they'll be like, well, player safety. It's like, yeah, but you don't mind adding 2 extra fucking games a season if it means billions of dollars in your pocket. Let us play an extra 5 minutes of fucking overtime.
Yeah.
Figure out a winner, man. It's not that hard.
Well, I like the college football rules. I think it's fun and it's it's a good way to do it. I don't know why they don't do that.
I'm with you, but instead of have them start at the 50, like midfield.
Yeah, that's cool.
The college rules, except for I think college starts at the 35 or something, or the 40.
I think they go to 20, and then they go after so many overtimes, they go to 35. I think, or something like that.
No, I think it's 35, and then
after, no, it is 35.
One, they got to start going for 2. But
right,
in the NFL, you can make them go for 2 things that'll make it go quicker. Like each team you match them. It's just like in college, but you always have to go for 2, and that would probably go quicker than the way the NFL does overtime now, especially when it goes all the way to a tie because you've played, I think overtime's 10 minutes now. They shorten it to fucking 10. They just get worse with it. They don't know what they're fucking doing.
The problem is what they're worried about is, let's say you have Colts versus Bengals, right, at the 12 o'clock game, all right? And at the 3:25 game or 4:25, whatever. My time, it's 12, and it's always been 12 and 3:30. Right, those are the big games, and let's say Colts and Bengals are down to they're just battling it out in this overtime. Right, usually the 3:30 game is the quote unquote big game of the week, or one of them. So let's say it's Rams and Packers or something. They're waiting for that game to end so they can start that game because the national game is at 3:30. You see what I'm saying? So it's stupid. Right, exactly.
That's not a reason for me.
That's what they're thinking. I'm saying I don't care either. I think that's dumb too.
I just throw it out there. I fucking hate.
I hate ties. I hate it.
I hate ties. I hate Goodell. I think the NFL Rules Committee is fucking dumb in general. They need to get their shit together. If I ever became commissioner of the NFL, I would use an executive order to say no more ties. You guys figure out why there's no more ties. You guys can figure out what system's best for everybody, but no more games will ever end in a tie because it's insane.
It's like in wrestling when we have ties in wrestling. Like, why? Why is that a thing? Anyways, we're talking about football. We're not talking about wrestling. Anyways, all right. So your AFC wild card teams, you got the Ravens, Broncos, and Raiders. Not
in that order though. I got it. It's Baltimore, Vegas, Denver. I think Denver.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I just threw them up there. And then I got Broncos, Raiders, and Titans.
Titans are washed, man. Tannehill seen his best days. Derrick Henry seen his best days. They're washed.
I like Vrabel, so I think he could still pull something together, and they can limp in there into the playoffs. So.
Belichick's the best coach in the NFL, and their Patriots ain't making it, so Vrabel doesn't stand a chance.
We'll see.
Wizard.
That's I don't know about that, but so that's our AFC. Pretty much, we'll talk about our Super Bowl picks. Let's head over to my division, the NFC. We talked about the AFC enough. Let's pull up real quick your division winners. We got the Eagles, the Succaneers, the Packers, and the Rams. And then over in the in my winners, of course, we got the Eagles. The Who Dat, baby. They're gonna win the NFC South. Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Rams. Let's start over the NFC East. Why do you got the Eagles winning that division?
Well, first off, I think the division's shitty. It's pretty crappy.
Mm-hmm.
Philly, I like. They got the old Colts offensive coordinator, Nick Sirianni. So they got the Colts culture there. So that's going to help them a lot. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to take the next step. I think they added a few weapons. They got A.J. Brown in the offseason. And I think Dallas is a bit overrated. I like Dak, but they did lose Amari Cooper. They did, and Ezekiel sucks now. You've seen the best Ezekiel Elliott. So really, the Cowboys' weapons aren't what they were even a year or 2 years ago. So I think they're going to take a step back, and I just think Philly's the better team. And then, the Giants are a fucking dumpster fire, and then the Redskins they got Wentz, so they're not going to win anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's yeah. The Giants they're just like their counterparts of the Jets over there. Cowboys, I could see them limping in, the playoffs potentially. The NFC as a whole really isn't that good. I think there's a lot of weak spots in the divisions except for the NFC West. And the Redskins, or not the Redskins, sorry, the Commanders. My bad.
Redskins. You racist fuck. How dare you?
Excuse me for calling them the team name for all these years, but the Commanders.
Forgive me for using the name they went by for the last 70 fucking years.
The Commanders. The Washington Commanders. At least they're not the Washington football team anymore. That's a plus. It took them 2 years to figure out a mascot.
I think they should have went with the Wild Engines. The Washington Wild Engines.
We're gonna get canceled. This is the last.
That was my fantasy team name the year the controversy was going on. I called myself the Wild Engines.
Oh god. So yeah, that's it. We're done here after this episode. Yeah. So, anyways, the Redskins. I mean, God dang it! I did it again. Commanders have they have some good bright spots there.
We need a button, and then all season, anytime somebody says Redskins, you hit a button. It's like the secret word on Pee Wee's Playhouse. We all go every time someone says it. It'll be great.
The Commanders have some bright spots.
They're not good. Carson Wentz is their QB. Any bright spot they would have had is completely diminished.
Let me finish, okay? I'm not saying they're going to the playoffs at all. What I'm saying is they'll take some wins away from Dallas and Philly potentially. So they're going to go they'll probably have 6 or 7 wins, to be honest with you. So
you're not being honest with me. You're lying.
All right. Anyways, I think the Giants will finish up last there. So I don't care. Daniel Jones, that goofy motherfucker. Yeah, he does not belong on a football field. So that's the NFC East. Again, let's pull up the graphic again. You got the Packers winning the North, and no, that's not the right one. I've got the Packers as well. What makes you think the Packers are going to win it all?
Again, super shitty division. They do have Aaron Rodgers, who, again, we've talked about it earlier, players get bad quick. Rodgers didn't show any signs of slowing up, and now you have QBs like Brady play until they're 45. Aaron Rodgers seems in great shape. He can probably play till 45, so I don't think there'll be a huge drop-off from Rodgers, but in my opinion, he lost the best receiver in the NFL, Davante Adams.
Yeah.
And it's different because I said Tyreek Hill, I think, is good because Mahomes, where I think Davante Adams is a receiver who can flourish anywhere. And Adams went to Derek Carr, who I think is a great quality QB. So I think Adams is going to be the same. But we'll see how Rodgers does without Davante Adams, because good luck. Like, if you've been following the preseason, you might be able to name Aaron Rodgers' weapons. But if you haven't been following the Packers preseason, like, name me a Packers receiver. It's kind of insane, and Rodgers has voiced his displeasure. But since they've had him, they don't draft offensive player. Like, they don't give a shit about building around Aaron Rodgers, to the point of, like, you have the best receiver in the NFL by chance. You're like, fuck it, we don't need him. It's kind of insane to me how they've treated Aaron Rodgers, and he gets a rap for being a bad teammate, and I do understand that. But at the same time, like, I think his complaints are legitimate as far as, I mean, they draft a fucking QB in the first round like 3 seasons ago during Aaron Rodgers' prime. Like, what are you thinking? That's the dumbest thing you could ever do. First round draft pick, quarterback, when you have Aaron Rodgers and he was only like 35 at the time. Bullshit, man. But they're lucky. They're still good despite their drafting practices because of Aaron Rodgers.
I think they were worried that he was going to go somewhere, but yeah, it's still a dumb move. I mean, you know, he definitely going to go somewhere if you're going to draft a quarterback. You know, a la Brett Favre whenever he was the backup. But
that was different because Favre was definitely Favre's 10 years after he left the Packers were, I mean, the Vikings went to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and the Saints fucked him up. So,
but still,
literally ended his career.
Aaron Rodgers is still top 3 QB in the league.
Yeah. I mean, he QB wise, yes, he is, but I don't know if he's going to put up the numbers. He's gonna see some tests with the Vikings in that division.
But that's it. Minnesota.
You got the Bears and who else?
Lions.
Yeah, God no. Lions will be better than they were last year, but yeah,
Lions suck, man. They're never going to be good.
No,
and Minnesota
they're bottom feeders.
Minnesota's a wild card team. I don't mean like literally wild card team, but I mean wild card. Like they could be great or they could be terrible because it's all really on Kirk Cousins. You got Dalvin Cook, who he gets the injury bug a lot, but when he's healthy, he's top 3 running back. Justin Jefferson, you can make the case he's top 3 wide receiver. It's just Kirk Cousins. He has a ceiling, I guess. And I've drafted Cousins a couple times in fantasy, and he always starts off the season really slow, and then as soon as I drop him for my fantasy team, he always fucking picks it back up.
It's huge. He hates the ratings wizard.
He does. I feel like Kirk Cousins is out to get me, personally. Mm-hmm. So I'd steer clear of drafting him in fantasy. I say that, and then I'll end up with him on my team. But, yeah, the Vikings, I think you're kind of going to get what you got last year from the Vikings, honestly. I think that's probably Kirk Cousins' tenure. What you've gotten so far from his tenure is probably what you're going to get from his tenure the whole time he's there. You're never going to be like absolutely terrible, but I don't think you're ever going to be any threat to even win the division.
Yeah, I agree.
And then let's head over to Chicago. Dumpster fires, not even worth talking about.
No, they don't have a quarterback. Justin Fields, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
Not that guy.
All right, so let's remind everybody again. You're in NFC South, the Buccaneers, and then of course I've got my Hoodats, baby. I think they're going to win the division, and look. Unlike Hoch, who does not live in reality and lives in a cloud that thinks that his team is going all the way and is going to be the number 1 team in the world, I don't necessarily think that with the Saints. There's questions at quarterback. There, we got to see how Jameson plays. We got a new head coach, Dennis Allen, first head coach the Saints had since 2006. But there are some very they still have that pretty much that defense intact. So they've got a top 5 defense in the league, and you have a lot of added pieces. You've got Jarvis Landry. If Michael Thomas gets healthy, you got Michael Thomas. I think the rookie Chris Olave is going to be really, really good. I think he's going to be an eye opener for people. And to top it all off, it seems like Kamara is not going to be getting in trouble for his little fight in Vegas. So if they keep Kamara all year, you got Kamara and Ingram 1-2 punch here. I think you got a pretty solid offense. So why do you think the Saints won't make it and the Succaneers will?
Tom Brady's still good. They still have all the weapons, and the Saints suck.
They don't suck.
Drew Brees is gone. Jameis Winston he's always going to be injured. Michael Thomas is never going to play in a Saints uniform again because he's a basket case. I don't know why the fuck. Kamara, I traded for him mid-fantasy season last year. trade him for Russell Wilson because I already had 2 baller quarterbacks. And Kamara didn't do shit for me. Like, he was as good as the running back I had on the team presently, so it wasn't it wasn't a bad.
That's because Kamara needed. He was too much of a focus. Now he's got Ingram. He's gonna be out there on a lonely island whenever he's out runs it out of the flats.
Sorry, bud. We've seen the best we're gonna get a Kamara.
Oh my God.
Running backs don't last long in the NFL, man. He's done.
He's not done.
The Saints are done. You guys had your moment. Welcome to the rest of the NFL. And you guys are in rebuild. You guys won't win your division for 10 years now.
You're insane. You are fucking insane.
I call it like I see it, man. The Aints ain't going nowhere.
Stay off the damn weed.
That's my most sober take of the whole fucking podcast. I'm just trying to wake you up to reality. I know you sit there in your fucking Saints gear in fucking bumfuck Louisiana somewhere. But I got to hit you with some truth bombs here from Memphis.
No, let me tell you something here. Okay, if you think I'm living in a virtual world, you are definitely the same way. If you think the Colts are going all the way, ain't no way that's happening, bud. Not with Matt Ryan as your quarterback. Matt Ryan, what is Matt Ryan doing? Matt Ryan lost
Taylor,
20,
best running back in the history of the NFL.
28-3 in the third, with 2 minutes left in the third quarter of the Super Bowl. They lost the game. He could not score another fucking touchdown.
That wouldn't have happened if he had the Colts roster that year.
Oh my God, he had a better roster. To be honest with you, yeah,
wrong. Yeah. Moving on.
You know, because I'm right. That's why you want to move on. Wrong. Moving on.
But you know the Saints aren't finishing better than the Bucs. You're insane.
No, I 100% think they do. They're going to be the third seed. I do have. We'll talk about a wild card in a little bit, but 100% they're going to be in there. So I don't care what you say. So
okay. And anyway, continue.
All right,
Carolina. They have Baker Mayfield. We all know.
Yeah, who cares?
Cleveland, they're not going anywhere.
Baker Mayfield, really?
And then Atlanta, they just lost Matt Ryan. They lost
Atlanta might be the worst team in the league. So
they're in the running with the Texans, I believe, and the Jets. Yeah. So it's a pretty shitty division. Tampa's the only good team. The rest could potentially be the worst team in the league.
Oh my God. You're ridiculous.
I just call it like I see it, man.
You have a top 5 defense. The Saints have a top 5 defense. Defense wins championships.
If you have
you have multiple receivers.
What was the last Super Bowl where the team won didn't have just a fucking baller quarterback? When's the last team who won a Super Bowl on their defense?
Probably be the Ravens. Just off the top of my head,
like 10 years ago. With Flacco, Fucko, whatever his name is. That was a different NFL even 10 years ago, but he was pretty consistent in his prime. He wasn't like
actually, I got one for you. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, I'll give you that one. That was a fluke, though. Hey, we got Nick Foles, the Colts. That's another reason why we could win the Super Bowl. Our backup QB is the Super Bowl. That's how good we are. Our backup QB is a Super Bowl winning QB.
Yeah, well, your starting QB completely shit the bed in the Super Bowl. So congratulations on that.
A few years ago, and our third stringer, that second-year guy out of Texas, Sam Ellinger, fucking balled in preseason. So we're just probably the best QB room in the whole fucking league.
Oh, good. I'm glad you could do that. Just remember that the Saints beat the Colts in the Super Bowl 44.
You're living in the fucking past, man. The LongBalls is 2022, man.
All right. Last division we need to talk about is the NFC West. I'll pull up a graphic here. We got the Rams. You got the Rams, and so do I. I got the Rams winning the division. Of course, defending Super Bowl. Could you see potentially the 49ers at some point maybe clipping their heels and,
it's all Trey Lance. If Trey Lance is the real deal, then San Francisco will be right there. But if he's not, then they're going to be mediocre. Like every team in the NFL. If your QB is mediocre, you're going to be mediocre. But everything you hear from Shanahan makes it sound like that Trey Lance is the guy, because Jimmy G hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been like amazing, but I've seen some stats of him when he's healthy, and he's like, when he's actually healthy, he's in top 5 in a lot of the statistics in the league. I think it's a lot of the injuries that give Jimmy G a bad name, but he does have, he's plateaued. I think the Jimmy Garoppolo you have now is the one you're going to get from now until the end of his career, where I think they see Trey Lance as someone who could be a Mahomes type player, the athleticism and all that. But we'll see. It's basically all on Trey Lance on whether the Niners are good or not.
All right, and you got the Arizona Cardinals as well.
Kyler Murray, baller.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. Yep. He's got, of course, a lot of weapons as well. I'm not too sure about their defense though. Their defense is okay. They got some holes, but they do have J.J. Watt still out there, but he's kind of aging at this point.
He's not. We've seen the best of Watt for sure.
Yep, I agree.
But I love Hopkins. And what's crazy is I was doing a lot of fantasy shit last night.
Yeah,
and
he's
everyone's sleeping on Hopkins. It's crazy.
I know.
Like I think he's ranked like number 40.
Yeah.
One of the lists I saw was like number 40 wide receiver.
I saw that.
He's coming up. He's had like one mediocre season and that was last year. Other than that, he's a top 3 wide receiver every single year. Yeah. That's how the NFL is so quick to forget. And rightfully so. A lot of times once a player is great, then they have a bad season. For the most part, they don't come back and recapture the glory. I'm not saying there isn't instances where that's happened, but for the most part, once you have that first bad season, there's no going back. You're on a downward slide. So I don't agree that he's slipped all the way down to like number 40, but we'll see. I still like Hopkins. And then they got Hollywood Brown in the offseason, which will help. It's tough when a team gets another great receiver. It's tough. Does that help everyone's fantasy value on the team, or does that hurt everyone's fantasy value on the team? That's always the question you have to pose when a team gets a receiver like that. So we'll see. But for their offense in general, I think that Arizona's offense is going to be amazing. So it is. I don't know much about their defense, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then Seattle is they made the absolute worst. The second worst trade I've ever seen in NFL history. I don't know. The Hopkins Arizona trade was the most terrible trade ever in NFL history, for sure, no doubt. Mm-hmm. But the Russell Wilson trade is.
Who did they get? I can't remember.
I think draft picks. I think they did they get Noah Fant? No, I don't know. Did they get a tie? I want to say Noah Fant.
Yeah, I think they
maybe.
did.
Don't quote me on that, but I don't care who they got. I don't care if they got 4 first-round draft picks. Like, you have what every team in the NFL wants, which is a starting stud quarterback. He's only like 33, so in quarterback years, you still have Russell Wilson for another fucking decade. And then you trade him for why? It's mind-bending to me. Russell Wilson hasn't really gotten the respect he's deserved the whole time he's been in the league. I draft him every year in fantasy. He went to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, won one of them, and this is when he was young. Always balls out, always puts up stats, always wins, never gets the respect he deserves, even from his own fucking team. They trade him. If I'm a Seahawks fan, because every fantasy I need to take a year off football and not watch it. I just need to. And every year, is this the year I'm going to take a year off and not give a shit? If you're a Seattle fan, this is the year to do that. Just to fucking boycott your team for trading away your fucking all-pro quarterback.
You know who their starting quarterback is? They just named him Geno Smith. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
And I don't get it, because this was a Phil Carroll or a Pete. I can't get names right. Pete Carroll decision. And how long is he going to be coaching the fucking Seahawks? if I'm a Seahawks fan, it's like you get to pick between Wilson and Carroll. It's like, see you, Pete. Thanks for the Super Bowl. Go retire and hang out with your grandkids. We're gonna have Russ for the next 10 years.
Go be a Paw, Pete.
Yeah.
Go back to Vince. Go with Vince in the retirement home.
So that's a fucking head scratcher. That's the biggest head scratcher of the whole offseason to me. The receivers getting traded. Yeah, I don't know why you would trade Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown. I don't get it. But okay. But I'm not going to understand ever the Russell Wilson trade.
I don't get it either. So he was rumored to be traded to the Saints. I think I don't know what happened with that, but
he didn't like his weapons there. They're bare cupboard.
You're ridiculous. Anyways, moving on. Let's see. Let's go to your wild card teams. Let's see. Wild. You've got Dallas, San Francisco, Cardinals, and then I have Dallas, Succaneers, and 49ers. Let's talk about it real quick. What makes you have those three teams in there?
Dallas, because they play in a weak division, so I think they'll probably, get 4-5 wins in the division just because of the division. Dak, quarterback plays a lot. Dak's good, so and then they're pretty solid. They were pretty solid last year, and I have no reason to believe that they won't be at least that good. I mean, I don't think they're great, but I don't think the NFC is great. I think the NFC is pretty weak. San Fran, like I said, it all pretty much hinges on Trey Lance. If he's good, they could win the division. If he's bad, they might not make the playoffs. So that's how that goes. And then Arizona, I mean, their offense is going to be baller. Like I said, Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, James Conner, and Kyler Murray. He was a bit underwhelming last year, I think. And again, I'm not saying he wasn't good. Some players just have this hype around them that they're supposed to be amazing, and when they don't live up to the hype, sometimes they're considered mediocre. But I think Murray's going to ball this season, so Arizona.
Yeah, he's my biggest question mark. I mean, besides Trey Lance, of course, but the division. But if Arizona's going to make it or not, because let's say if Trey Lance is not good, you still have Jimmy G, to bring in there. So it's not like they have another choice to bring anybody else in Arizona. But
I don't think Jimmy G will be on the Niners much longer. I think
he probably won't be. Yeah, he probably will be. But it just all depends on Trey Lance's play. How confident they are in him. So, eventually I think he will get traded. Maybe he'll get traded to the Saints. Maybe.
Yeah, let's hope not.
All right, so that's those are our picks. We let's go to our Super Bowl winners. So I can't believe we're pulling this up right now. Let's go to Hoch's Super Bowl, his fantasy Super Bowl.
Oh, fantasy! This is real life.
This is he's got the Los Angeles Rams and the Indianapolis Colts. His Colts. What God? We talked about it. I think you're dead wrong on it. To be honest with you, I don't think the Colts sniff the divisional playoffs. To be honest with you, so
that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And you said some dumb shit.
It's the truth.
Well, explain to me why. I'd like to hear a valid reason why.
Matt Ryan. I already told you, Matt Ryan.
He's been balling out, dude.
They don't have. They got holes in defense on the defense too.
Oh, we filled our holes, man. You don't call. You're like a national media writer trying to write about the Colts. You don't know dick.
You're just a homer. Like, my Colts are going to win. They're going all the way.
Now look, there's seasons I don't think the Colts are going to win at all. And I'm all right saying it. This season, I think we legitimately have all the pieces we need. And I think that we're a shoo-in, quite honestly.
Yeah, well, I don't think so. You got a lot of tough teams. You got to go through all of the AFC West. You got
actually, we only have to go through one of the AFC West, probably. because we don't play the AFC. Well, actually, we do.
No, what I mean is
we
in the playoffs.
We do play the AFC West this year because we have the Chiefs and Vegas. And yeah, we actually do play the AFC West this year.
Yeah,
but in the playoffs, we're only going to have to go through one of them.
Maybe two, potentially two. But yeah, you're right. One of them because you're going to lose in the wild card round. So congratulations. Thanks. That's what we call a setup in the business. All right. Thanks. Appreciate that. My Super Bowl, San Francisco 49ers, Cincinnati Bengals. That's who it is. I think the 49ers are going to be, they're going to be a good team. They're going to still be a wild card, but I think they're going to be very sneaky and they're going to beat the Rams. Once they beat the Rams, they're going to go all the way. I actually got the Rams and Eagles in the NFC Championship game, and Rams, 49ers and Eagles in the NFC Championship game, and I think the 49ers will beat them. As far as our Super Bowl winners, I can't believe actually I have the graphic pulled up good, but you've got the Colts winning it all again. Like, what a homer. My Super Bowl winner, Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Bengals will have improved enough and have that experience to get them through the playoffs. They'll beat the 49ers, and that'll be your Super Bowl winner, and that's the bottom line because JBONE said so.
Well, it goes through Lucas Oil, and I just don't think Burrow can win there, but we'll see. And then your Niners pick, I think, is insane because you're basing all that on Trey Lance taking the next step, which we haven't.
It is. It's a risky pick. I do realize that, but I think if Trey Lance does it, I think from things I've heard, I think the 49ers are good enough to.
Oh yeah, did you hear it from the dirt sheets? Is that where you're getting
the dirt sheets? My forums.
This fucking dirt sheets are garbage in any sport.
All you read is the Indianapolis Colts dirt sheets, which is just pure dirt.
No, I follow the whole league, as you can tell by the predictions I've just made. Unlike, I think you heard that we were streaming on Sunday. And you're like, it's Saturday night. Let me piece these together. And you're like, oh yeah, the Niners. Cool.
Get out of here. Yeah. No, that was not the case. Actually, I've been working on it all week. Thank you very much. So,
well, you could have done better. I honestly don't know, because when we were talking about doing this show, it was like going to be me and you, because I guess we're supposed to know the most about the NFL. But now that I've done my second episode with you, I'm not sure why you're the.
I'm right there with you.
We could have put Tony No Pussy in here, and he could have had just as many good takes as you, I would say.
Well, I think you must have been. This is the crystal ball segment, but I think you must have been doing crystal meth when you did your.
I can't wait for the season wrap up where we get to go through these picks to see who is more accurate, and then our weekly as we're tracking the weekly picks. I just can't wait to have bragging rights over being.
Okay, we'll see.
A very astute NFL mind here, All
right. Well, each and every week we're going to be delivering our Hoch and BONE awards. We'll give our player of the week, defense, offense, and then kind of MVP of the week. But we're going to be doing it for the league. So check it out. We got the Hoch and BONE.
That cracks me up.
It's great. It's good shit, pal.
Everyone gets an award. Everyone deserves it. Man. Let's make everyone feel good. Participation all around.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. So let's look at your MVP. We got Mr. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, and guess what? That's my MVP as well too.
I didn't check, but I'd say in Vegas, he's probably getting the best odds.
Yeah,
also.
yeah. I mean, I think he's got all the tools necessary to become the MVP. Typically, though, your MVPs for the most part aren't in the Super Bowl a lot of times. It's hit or miss, but I think he's going to end up in the AFC Championship. He's going to fall flat against the Bengals. And that's going to be it. So, but I think I think it's pretty clear that he's the MVP. He's got all the weapons. All right, offensive player of the year. This is where we differ a little bit. All right, so your offensive player of the year, Justin Herbert.
Yep.
I mean, it could be possible. To me, I think if an offensive player of the year is a quarterback, he should also be up for the MVP. So I was like, nah. So I've got Devontae Adams as an offensive player of the year. I think he's gonna ball out this year. You got Darren Waller over there that'll kind of help spread out the offense, and I think Derek Carr is going to be very good for him. And he's going to want to show out. He's from the West Coast, so he's going to want to show out this year. So he's got a lot to prove. So that's why I got Devontae Adams. Defensive player of the year. You're such a fucking homer. Yeah. Who? Yeah. Why? Tell me.
Shaquille Darius Dick Tackling Leonard.
Why?
He's always in the running. He's always he's been in the league 4 years. He's been an All-Pro 3 of those years. Rookie of the year. Like, it's not like I pulled this guy out of nowhere and I just picked a Colt. He's literally been an All-Pro his first 3 years in the league. So I don't understand why it's so far-fetched.
Because he's not a game changer. He's not a game changer.
How many Colts games you watch, motherfucker?
My defensive.
How many Colts games you watch, motherfucker?
Only whenever they're lying down to the Saints. That's how many.
Okay, exactly. So you actually don't even know who the fuck Dick Tackling Leonard is, do you?
Yeah, I do, and I just don't think he's a game changer. So this is my defensive player, an actual game changer, Myles Garrett. I think he's gonna be so good that he will actually help the Browns win a couple of games.
They give these awards to players who are on teams that are going to be in the playoffs. And with the Browns, with Jacoby Brissett,
no, not necessarily.
Are going to be shit, dude.
Not necessarily. They give it to the best defensive player, and I think he's the best defensive player of the year.
Well, yeah, if you let him take his helmet off and start swinging it around all willy-nilly, maybe. Other than that,
yeah,
no,
because he's a man. He's not scared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those are our Hoch and Bonies. Obviously, Hoch's been smoking a little bit too much of the weed.
Stay off the damn weed.
And maybe you'll actually.
No such thing as too much.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But I also have this too. Nice little drop as well that I can play. Anyways, a little something. But yeah, anyways, I think so that is our NFL preview for the 2022 season. Hoch, do you have anything else to add on this season?
That's it. Those are the predictions.
Huh?
The crystal ball.
Well, next week we'll be talking about week 1 of the NFL season, but we'll be live, so you get to see all of Hoch's screw ups live here.
Tune in for spot on fantasy advice from me, and then what not to do when we listen to JBONE, and then we'll be giving betting advice too. So listen to that if you want to pad your wallet this season.
Yep. So
week in and week out.
We'll be doing that, and then we've got we're going to be previewing week 1, give our predictions, talking anything fantasy related, and then that's just about it. I'll be giving my spot on analysis because I am the wizard of the NFL, and this is my assistant Al Borland. So Al, tell everybody what you got coming up on Broken VCR.
Fuck, man. I don't even remember. I know.
Jesus.
I know. Well, we do them in advance. I can't even remember the fucking order. I think Breakdown either went live Tuesday or it's coming this Tuesday. And then after Breakdown, we did maybe American Graffiti. We did American Graffiti. I don't know if we dropped already. Chad does that side of it, dude.
Oh my God. You take some pride in your work. Jeez.
I do. I'm fucking taking pride in schooling you right now. I can do this.
You're gonna go on broken VCR. You're gonna go on broken VCR. Chad's gonna ask you what's going on in the LongBalls. Oh, we got like some stuff with football.
Well, we're not gonna be recording LongBalls beforehand in the season. It's gonna be live.
Oh, we got week.
What's going on in the LongBalls? Oh, it's week 3 in the NFL. That's all I have to say.
I'll be surprised if you remember what week it is. Okay.
I consume NFL more than any person should.
We'll see. Anyways, for the Hochster, you got me. Make sure you're also checking out coming down the aisle this week. I'm gonna have Matthew Goldberg on. Also check out the list. We talk about Miles and I talk about the top 10 Kevin Nash matches. But of course, you could find everything Turnbuckle Tavern at theturnbuckletavern.com. Join our Discord channel. You can communicate with everyone but Hoch, which is a good thing. And we got our Twitch. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Subscribe, and don't forget to rate and review on Apple and Spotify. And of course, you want to talk about how dumb Hoch is. Go ahead and leave the tavern a voicemail 304-404-2004. They'll play it on the flagship.
You started the music too soon. You got to stop doing that. That's the second week in a row you started the music too soon.
No, I'm doing the music
like fools.
I'm doing the music now. What are you talking about?
We've been playing that for like 5 minutes. That should be like as we're wrapping up.
My God. Anyways, all right. So I guess we're wrapping up because Hoch hates this music. So for myself, JBONE Madden, and the Hochster, that is we'll see you next week.
Go Horse.
Peace.